I'm really excited about our next guest because I've known her for a while. I've worked on a lot of brides who have also worked with her in their weddings, and they've all had lots of lovely things to say about her. Everybody, please welcome Miss Shelli with Miss Armstrong Events. You coordinate some really beautiful things.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you for coming. So tell
Excited
us,
to be here.
What exactly is your business?
Well, I do design and events, coordinating, planning, styling. We also do one-on-one workshops with those who really want to do it themselves, who a full coordinator might not be in their budget. And so we try to be available to people to help them as little or as much as they can. So even if they think they might not be able to afford a full-service coordinator, we do have things for them. We can offer them some hand-holding and some assistance.
That's nice.
It's helpful.
One-on-one kind of a workshop. Do you guys talk about just the day of or planning it all?
Basically what we do is, when we do a one-on-one workshop, we do a 3 to 4 hour sit-down planning session tour. It is intense.
Oh my goodness.
So it's pretty extensive, and that's what we call it, the extensive workshop.
Yeah.
And basically we sit with them and we tell them, okay, this is you from start to finish. And we go over all the different elements with them, and we kind of walk them through what they need to do. We give them some advice and some pointers along the way. But they really have to do it themselves. But at least we kind of go through that, and they can take notes.
Yeah.
And then when we're done,
Put them on the right path.
Put them on the right path, exactly. We want everyone to have a fabulous wedding. There's no reason why anyone should not have a fabulous wedding. And so if we can help everyone out, we try as much as we can.
Man, now how did you get into this?
Oh, wow. Basically, taking it back along the way. When I was in high school, I coordinated a lot of the events at the school. And so I did my first wedding when I was 17, right out of high school. So, which was 28 years ago. It was a long time ago.
It was yesterday.
It was just yesterday, right. So I've seen the evolution of weddings really come a long way, so from what they used to be.
Wow.
And so I never thought that when I actually started and doing my first few weddings that was an actual career, because it wasn't a career that long ago. And so it's been fun watching the industry grow and watching so many people with their creative talents come into the industry and just help it expand
now,
so much.
as a coordinator, what exactly do you help with? Do you help with finding other vendors that they need? Is it scheduling?
Everything.
What does that mean? Everything.
Basically, we try to help them with all the elements that they need. If they have some vendors in mind, then of course we're going to use the vendors that they choose, and it's the bride's choice regardless of who we recommend or not. But we basically take all the different elements and put them all together to where everything is very cohesive and your day is going to flow. So when we design an event, we go into the event knowing what we can and can't do and what our design limits are, whether or not it can happen or not. And so that's kind of the benefit of having a full-service coordinator on your team, because I'm not going to design something that I know is not going to be able to happen. So we have kind of the look ahead and see what's going to happen.
Now you've brought lots of photos for us to check out and show. So we'll pop some of those up. Maybe you can talk about what it is we're looking
fantastic. A June wedding from last year is what you're looking at now at the Fresno Convention Center. It was
oh my goodness,
absolutely fabulous. Over 400 guests.
And do you help with picking out all these little things, the glasses?
Yes. We do all tabletop coordination, picking out the rentals for all the different elements that you'll need for all your different details.
Wow.
And so down to your place settings, your floral, your linens. Linens are a fun one. That's one of my favorites. Your print work, as you can see there, your lighting, your draping, and we have some fabulous talent in this city. We're very, very fortunate, and so it's a lot of fun to work with lots of different people and lots of different vendors, and kind of bring different ideas together. You can be set on a design and think, okay, it's going to look great. But But then once you start working on it, you can just take it and have so much more fun with it once you just start talking with
people. Or once you see all your ideas put together, you're like, oh my gosh, it looks like a pot of stew. Nothing.
Right. Well, and that's a lot of, that's the problem with Pinterest, is because as great as it is,
Pinterest.
It's fantastic, but at the same time, it's hodgepodge, and you're looking at all these different things. It's like, how do you bring it together?
Yeah.
You need to make it, again, cohesive and make it look good. And ladies, stay off Pinterest. I mean, go on for a little bit and then kind of back off.
What's your advice to brides who are, you know, they're newly engaged and now they're like, what's next? What do I do now? I've got the ring,
right.
But where do I start? What's your advice when they're just getting going?
Yeah, I always recommend that you start with your budget, because you need to know what your limits are and the reality of your limits.
Right.
Because
dun.
Right. Exactly. And no one likes disappointment. So if you know what your budget is, you can be realistic, and then you can prioritize. So first is setting that budget, and then prioritize what is the most important elements of planning this event and what you want to see happen, and then take it from there. And then being realistic. It's really sad when I have or when I see people who are unrealistic.
Because we all want that big.
Of course we do.
Was that champagne taste?
And caviar
and
drinks.
Not quite
on the beer budget.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And that's hard. So we do what we can to give our clients everything that they want. But we do have to be realistic. And we let them know that right up front.
Right.
It's like, well, we're going to find a different.
We like that idea, but.
However.
Now, how do people get a hold of you? Where are you located?
My office is in Fig Garden Village. I am at the corner of Palm and Shaw, and I'm on the second floor of the Wells Fargo building there. And
good location.
It's a fantastic location. I just love where I'm at. And so it's centrally located. It's a staple in Fresno.
Yeah.
And everyone knows where it's at, so it's easy to find.
And do people email for appointments or call?
Yes, they can call or email.
Okay.
And we're pretty flexible with our schedule. I know that most of my clients work, and so we do evening events or meetings. I don't do very many weekend meetings, because usually we have events going on. Exactly. And we do other events besides just weddings, and so weekends are a little tough. If we absolutely have to, then we will. And we also Skype with a lot of our out-of-town guests, because of the fact that a lot of my clients are from different locations, or if we're going to a destination.
I was going to ask, are you noticing a lot of out-of-town people?
A lot of clients who have lived here, grown up here, and moved away. Brides tend to want to come home for their wedding, because this is still where family is, and most of their friends.
And so what's great about the show is it's live on the web, so people can access this anywhere.
Oh, fantastic.
And now they can Skype with you anywhere and plan their wedding here.
Yes. I've done several weddings that were almost 100% done Skyping.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's technology these days, guys.
It's a blessing, kind of, if you know how to work it.
Yeah.
I'm still a little technically challenged, but that's okay. That's okay. We work through it. Is there
anything else you'd like to say about your services or how they can get a hold of you?
Just email or call, and we'll get back to you. A lot of our appointments we schedule in advance. So when I book a client, I schedule the entire all of our planning sessions at one time. So we know, and it's on the calendar.
Right.
So a lot of times people will call and say, well, I want to meet with you this week. That sometimes cannot happen, because I've already got things scheduled out.
Right.
So, and we also know that we also have to have some work time in there. So
to make their dream wedding come true.
Absolutely.
Takes a little time and planning.
Right.
But well, thank you so much for coming.
I appreciate you having me on here today.
On the show. Talk about your services.
Yes, I
Again,
love it. Thank
my
you.
brides love you, and they love what you do for them, for real. So
thank you. Well, you always make them look fabulous. So.
I do what I can.
Yes.
Do what I can.
Yes. It's teamwork. It's all about teamwork. I love it.
All right, guys, stay tuned. We will be right back.